Okay, today we are talking about the pros and cons of tile. So here's a real-world example of a tile countertop and tile floor in a residential house. What are the pros of tile? So the main pros, and you can do your own Google search, it's long-lasting, it's very hard and durable, and depending on your taste or preference, it can look very nice if you like the look of tile. It comes in different sizes, colors, finishes, etc. Now, what are the cons of tile? So again, here's this kitchen countertop. If we take a closer look, one of the major cons or weaknesses of tile is the grout. This is a brown, light brown grout, but you can see this house is 20 years old. You can see how dirty the grout is. Grout needs to be sealed every 1 to 2 years. Or you have to mix in an admixture into the grout when the tile is first laid. Otherwise, because grout is so porous, it'll absorb germs, dirt, all kinds of nasty stuff. You can see this edge was cut on a tile saw and how rough that is. So whether you score the tile and snap it, or you cut it with a wet saw, you have that sharp edge. Another issue, if you don't lay all the tiles perfectly even and level, you can see that gap, see the light through there? So this tile on the left is lower than the tile on the right. So there's a lip right there. You can see my flashlight going up over that lip.
Wow.
So if you have an uneven tile floor or uneven kitchen countertop, that can be really annoying. It can hurt your hand, hurt your feet. Let's look at this corner. You can see how ugly that joint is, how wide it is, and how sharp it is. If you go farther down the countertop, you can see this tile is sticking up and out. Here's another example. On this backsplash on the kitchen countertop, you can see where it's cracked here and here, where the grout is cracked here on the kitchen floor. And again, you can see how dirty and nasty the grout is. Again, another crack on the kitchen floor. So again, grout is susceptible to cracking. Here at this threshold, by the front door. Here's grout that's cracked around this fireplace surround, and you can see the unevenness of the grout lines. You got wide grout lines, skinny grout lines. And if we look closely around the edge of the fireplace where the metal meets the grout, it's cracked. You have this gap because the grout doesn't stick to the metal. On the other side here, you can see the corner is cracked. The other issue with tile is a transition between different flooring materials. We got carpet, got this laminate flooring. You can see it's a little bit awkward and ugly looking. And here in the kitchen, there's a transition threshold between the dining room and kitchen. But you can see there that seam there allows dirt and debris to get in that seam, that joint, and that transition threshold sits up proud. What would I recommend? Luxury vinyl plank flooring. Just a quick disclaimer, this is not a paid promotion for any product or website that I'm showing you here. It's just my professional and personal opinion. How is luxury vinyl plank flooring constructed? What's so great about it? Well, you get the top wear layer, and if you're going to buy LVP, you want your wear layer to be 20 mil thick or greater. And then under that, you have your UV stabilized acrylic finish. And you have your luxury vinyl layer. And it comes in a wide selection of designs. So if you want it to look like wood or tile, they offer that. And there's different manufacturers. Then you have the actual core structure that won't warp or buckle or absorb water. So great for bathrooms or kitchens. And then the bottom layer, usually the higher quality products already have the underlayment, right, which helps reduce noise and impact. If we look at this website, CoreTech, you can see they offer several LVP plank flooring in different tile styles and designs that looks like real tile, but it's a luxury vinyl plank. The luxury vinyl planks come in different sizes. and they simply lock and snap together like a giant jigsaw puzzle. So if you don't like the look of tile and you want the look of wood, they offer different finishes and sort of a wood look as well. Again, this is not the only manufacturer, there's others out there. And their website also gives you instructions to how to install it and maintain it. It's pretty straightforward, but that's nice when you buy a product. So a rubber mallet, safety glasses, a tapping block, tape measure, pull bar. And the nice thing about LVP flooring, you can lay it over existing tile floors or other hard surface flooring. You can't lay it over carpet. And you can see most manufacturers, if you go on their website, will give you a downloadable installation instructions with pictures, tell you what tools you need, how to install it. Basically, you can use a floating floor method where you leave a 1/4-inch gap all the way around all 4 sides of the room to allow for expansion and contraction of the product. And the nice thing about this LVP is you can actually use like a speed square or a straight edge and a sharp box cutter knife to cut the LVP planks to length.
Wow.
Or if you don't have the hand strength for that, or you have a lot of flooring to lay, you could use a radial arm saw or a skill saw, but you don't have to. But again, just follow the manufacturer's instructions. LVP is waterproof, so if you spill something on it, you can wipe it up. It's not going to absorb through. So you eliminate the issue with grout, because grout is a porous product unless you seal it, which means it's going to absorb dirt, mold, mildew, bacteria, etc. So LVP is a lot easier to keep clean, a lot quicker and easier to install. So here's real world instructions. You can see it's pretty basic, pretty straightforward. Like I said, it's like a giant jigsaw puzzle that you snap together. Leave a 1/4-inch gap around the perimeter of the room, and you'll reinstall your baseboards after you install your flooring. So a tapping block, a rubber mallet, a Z-bar, no gluing, no nails, no screws, no staples. And this product does not have to acclimate to the space, like if you were going to install other types of flooring. So now you can also go on their website and they have this interactive tool where you can upload a picture of your home and see what the flooring will look like. You can see in this example, we did LVP tile. So that looks nice. Or if you're going for a wood look, you can select a wood LVP looking product. Again, looks a lot nicer. And again, you do away with the issue of dealing with the grout or uneven tiles. So let's compare the cost between tile and LVP. So again, quick Google search. You can see that luxury vinyl plank is generally going to be cheaper to install, and it's more DIY friendly, which will make it even less expensive. Whereas tile is more labor intensive, it takes a lot longer. You're dealing with the dust because you got to mix up the thin set and mix up the grout, unless you buy the ready mix stuff. Right, so you got to put down a layer of thin set, lay all your tiles. You got to let that cure overnight. Come back the next day, grout all your grout lines, wipe off all your tile with a sponge so you don't get that hazy grout film, and come back the next day and seal it, let the sealer dry, then you can finally walk on your floor. Whereas with LVP, you start in the morning, lay your floor, and by that afternoon or evening, you can walk on the floor, you're done. Woo! So I would not recommend tile floors or tile countertops simply because of the issue with the grout being so absorbent and easily to crack. Tile is more labor intensive to lay, more difficult to replace a broken or cracked tile. And if it's not laid perfectly, you're going to have uneven edges, sharp edges, and have grout lines that don't look nice. So my personal and professional recommendation would be LVP flooring. And as far as countertops, I would stay away from anything that's porous, that needs to be resealed. Stay away from tile countertops. But it's your personal preference and your personal budget as to what you choose. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.